How are you guys today? Welcome back to Civilian Tactical. It's been a while since I uploaded a video, uploaded a few shorts in the meantime. I'm going in between moving out a house that I own and getting it ready for renters. I've been busy working, doing solar. That's my main job. And I haven't had a chance to upload, so I wanted to make a video for you guys today. This video is going to be based on, it's almost a follow-up of my last video. So my last video, I was just kind of leaning towards telling you guys my mindset on firearms and how it's changed since I started. So in the beginning, I was into getting a whole bunch of different, cool pistols and different cool rifles, and I got all this stuff, and I'm noticing that I'm training mainly with just one or two, and also buying different parts and stuff to make me a better shooter, but none of that makes you a better shooter. It's training that makes you a better shooter. And it took me a little bit to realize that getting a trigger in your gun or getting this or that isn't gonna, getting red dot on your pistol and whatnot, different sights, isn't gonna make you a better shooter. Training is gonna make you a better shooter. So I got away with the pimped out Glock 19s. I got away with, all this stuff, and I am consolidating everything to two firearms, and that's a primary and a secondary. The primary is this 12.5 inch pistol, I guess you can call it. I don't have my SBR tack stamp, so I cannot make this into an SBR, but this is a 12.5 inch pistol. I wanted to make my primary more of a close quarters type build. So this is pretty much it in a nutshell. We have a 12.5 inch HM with a Hollow Sun 507C for, this is something with an RMR, screws. So this is something that you would see on a pistol, right? It's sitting on a mount. It sits decently high up, and I got this because I thought it would be cool to, if I ever got a pistol that is optic ready, right? I could take this off and put it right on my pistol and then get something cool and extravagant for this. But for now, I wanted to get this 507C so I could just mount it right on this. It works great for what I need it for, and I actually like it because when I have my sight picture and I'm looking through, I'm not forced to look through a tube or something like that, and it just gives me great peripheral vision. So when I'm looking through the red dot, I see where my red dot is on its target, but I also see everything else. Like, I'm not just zoning in on something, I still have all my view. And I thought about that before getting it, and then after I mounted it and put thousands of rounds through this unit, I actually turned to love it. It keeps a nice zero, and I'm in love with this 507C on this particular unit. It's not something you see every day, and I gave it a try, and I'm all for it. Working our way from top to bottom, 12.5 inch fully complete upper from H&M, I believe. And this is chambered in 5.56. I had a Aero Precision silver bolt lying around. I threw that in there. I prefer the black one, but I'm just using this one for now. The black is kind of less. When the sun hits it, it doesn't reflect. This does, so I would probably change that out eventually, but for now, this is kind of what I'm using. Also, this is a Varmint Light, like for coyotes and stuff. It's a red dot, it's a red light, and I've obviously I've come to shoot a few coyotes since I've owned this thing. And I use it as well as, you know, for home defense. I can use this light to light up an area and see just fine. So I kind of go back and forth between it. The famous zip tie to keep my switch to the in an area kind of where I grab the barrel. I have it right accessible so I can hit that switch, which is pretty cool. That's the top half. I have these little, you know, push-in grip things, you know, that's taking up this part of the real estate because I grab on this side and it's nice texture to grab to. Same as this top to cover up some of the Picatinny. I noticed before I had this, when I was grabbing that Picatinny and shooting, my fingers were getting mushed onto the ridges, and it wasn't exactly that uncomfortable, but it was uncomfortable, so I got away with it. We have a forward grip. I prefer this grip right here instead of a 90-degree. I don't even think it's legal to put a 90-degree grip on a pistol, so I have this unit right here. Also, we have, moving down, we have a Magpul sling attachment I put on this side. I was told, I was watching a T-Rex Arms video, and he said to mount it on the other side, and that will kind of keep the rifle from, it will kind of keep it straight down instead of like that, if that makes any sense. But whatever, I kept it on this side. Not too many issues yet. And then also for my sling on, this is a 2-point, so my sling on the back end, I either put to this back piece right here, or I'll go to the end of the brace. So I can attach to here, or I can go to here. And so I mainly keep it as skinny as possible, you know, as much in between. I've noticed that works better for me as of right now. Moving our way down, we have a this is the Magpul Grip. It's a K2, I believe they call this. It's more of a pistol right angle grip. I'm able to grip up as high as possible, and it works great. I love this thing. I've been using this particular grip for a while, and I have no complaints for it. This is a Cmc Trigger. When I first built this, I bought this upper complete, and then this lower I've had lying around for a while, and sits in it is this Cmc Trigger. Before I had this lower on this upper, I had a Anderson lower on this upper, and it had a mil-spec trigger, and I shot it a whole bunch with the mil-spec trigger. And like I said earlier in this video, I have no complaints. Like I want to learn how to be a shooter, right? So I've been practicing, and I wanted to put a lot of rounds through that mil-spec, so there's no excuses. Like, I want to use everything, you know, as mil-spec as possible to make myself a better shooter before I upgrade. Does that make sense? So I actually just put this lower on recently with this flat CMC trigger, and this is a 2 to 3 pound trigger pull, so it's a lot different. It's a lot different, you know what I mean, compared to a mil-spec trigger, which I've grown to love. I love mil-spec triggers. I think they're great. I have no problems with them. But I have this thing lying around. It's been working great, and I said, screw it, I'll just throw it in there. We have a pimped out charging handle. It's purple, and that matches my purple buffer tube. And I know what you're thinking, like, oh, that's not really like that camouflage, like, why would you do that? And I agree. I don't know. Like I said, I threw this upper on. This upper had the purple buffer tube, and the old one was black, and I had a Radian charging handle, which is basically the same thing as this, except black. And since this buffer tube was purple, I said, screw it, I'll throw this purple one on. I had it lying around. And, you know, I wish it was camoed or just black, but whatever. I'm dealing with it, and it's pretty cool. People who aren't really into firearms and think like we do, they think it's cool, right? So, whatever. So, then we have the, this is an SB brace. This is just a pistol brace that I slap on there so I don't get in trouble with the ATF. And that's pretty much it for this primary. Okay, going to the secondary. Now, you guys noticed that we have a lot of, I've done a lot of pistol videos in the past, and I'm always like, oh, pimp this out, do this, Gucci that, and recently I traded one of my firearms pistols for a Glock 19 Gen 3, okay, so this is it right here. This is a Glock 19 Gen 3, completely stock sights, stock barrel, stock everything, except I hit it a little, I grinded out the underneath a little bit so I can grip a little higher on the gun, and I grinded out this a little bit just so that grip feels a lot better. And I did cheat. I had a Zev's Pro Trigger flat face lying around from a previous build, and I slapped that in there because it's just lying around, and I have no complaints. Like I said, I'm going mil-spec all the way. I shot mil-spec a whole bunch, but I had this lying around, and I said, why don't I just throw it in here instead of, you know, just letting it sit. This trigger is pretty cool. There's a little bit of play in the beginning, but unlike the Glock triggers, once you hit that wall, it's firm. So you hit the wall anymore, it breaks, okay? So you come up, right? Break. There's no like wall and then grit, break. It's just wall, break. So that's why I've grown to, that's why I really like this trigger. And that's the only thing done to this Glock. You know, it's completely stock besides that trigger. I think I put a an all metal spring in there that I had lying around, but other than that, besides the spring and the trigger, it's all stock unit. And I'm gonna keep it that way because I have about 2,000 rounds through this unit and it hasn't malfunctioned one time. Same with this upper. I have thousands of rounds through this upper recently and not one malfunction. So that was the goal. Get a pistol and a rifle that I absolutely love and I can trust 100% and shoot the shit out of it. I'm putting all the money that I make and that I put towards firearms, I'm putting it through ammunition and training instead of parts and stupid shit that I don't need. And it's made me a better shooter, and it's made me appreciate the sport a lot more and appreciating, you know, our right and our amendment. So I recommend it to you guys. Once you guys get done with your fix and pimping stuff out, I suggest putting a lot of money towards ammunition and just going out and getting to know your firearms, because the more you use them, the more you train with them, the better, the more of an upper hand you'll have. God forbid you're ever in a situation. So I hope you guys like my two units that I'm spending all my time with, and we'll get you on the next one. Next video is going to be about just my loadout. It's just going to be a loadout with the primary, secondary, and chest rig, and what I bring with me when I go LARP around. So I'll see you guys on the next one.